Hey guys, welcome to Aaron's review, and today's video is number 71, where we look at the review of the Tin Hifi T4s. As you can see in front of me, I have several IEM monitors that I want to give a few review of. Remember, I'm still trying to do a giveaway of the Billie Jean, the Siren series from JH Audio. It is a one driver, as I recall, it's a BA driver. I am trying to give this away. Once I get 1,000 subscribers, one of those lucky subscribers will get this product. I'm sure that I will be doing an unboxing of this IEM monitor once I've completed these two comparisons, which is coming up soon. So objective of today's video is actually the Tin Hifi T4s. So let me take away the Billie Jean. Excited to test this product. I have tested it already in the shops, and I'm trying to give this one away. And the balloon, I'm using it currently and enjoying it, but a few review of this will be coming. So currently this is what I've been testing, the Tin Hifi T4s. This is the box for those who want to look at unboxing. This is actually number 69. So if you look back at my video number 69, you will see an unboxing of the Tin Hifi T4 and how to buy it slightly cheaper. Now I'm trying to hit these two more videos after this where we review the Blonde 03, as many people are also saying that that is a very good IEM monitor, and then so is the T4s. Hence the reason why I want to do a comparison. It needs to be soon because the T4 they are still on sale for another 4 days on Indiegogo before the price goes up. So currently the price you can buy this for is about 79 US dollars. Once those 4 days are up, where Indiegogo no longer provides it, it will go back to the original price of $119. Remember, for those who are lucky enough, you purchased this earlier like me, you were able to purchase this for $79. And it came with a $20 Linso coupon, and hence that's the reason why I've got the Balloon 03 as well, as I only paid $19 for that IEM monitor, and that retails for 39 US dollars. What I've been testing with the Tin T4s is actually two extra cables which I own myself. If you look at the inside of the box, we have 3 black and 3 white small, medium and large silicone tips. We have 2 white foam tips, and what came as extra is 3 sets of, I think, large, medium, small foam tips. So this is the extra that is included. The Tin Hifi leather case is fantastic, and it does smell of leather. Having used it for 1 day, you can now really smell the leather, which I do enjoy actually. In regards to the cable, this is the original cable. You can see that I've already tested it with another 2 cables that I have. Before we actually go a bit more in depth with the sound quality, I just wanted to say that this is a 10mm carbon nanotube dynamic driver. It uses aerospace grade aluminium, and the cable is high purity silver plated copper cable. It is the MMCX connector, as you can see from here. And it does have left and go, and on the end we have a 3.5mm, and this is my own one, as I attach this to my shirt so it clips on so that it doesn't fall off. So even if it falls off from my ear, this is still connected to my shirt, so when it falls like this, it doesn't fall to the ground straight away. So just a bit of safety there. In regards to the cable, it is quite rubberized, like a bit of elastic band. That is what I would say about this cable, but the cable is definitely reasonable, and it comes included with the T4. So if you're not in a desperate need to upgrade the cable, it is reasonable, I would say. Now, as you can see, I have tested it with 2 extra cables, which this is a Beats audio cable. It's about 1,000-ish Hong Kong dollars. I can't remember what the exact name of this one was, but it cost me about 1,000-ish, and it's 3.5mm. This does bring a better upgrade to the original cable, but I have not paired it with that one due to the fact that I think this cable is much better with this any monitor, the Tin Hifi T4. It is called Nobunaga Labs. I think this is the Thunder version. I think this is like a couple years old. It is a 2.4mm jack, which is great for my SP1000 that I am using it with. Material wise, it's just 4 braided as far as I remember, or is it 8 braided? Let me double check. It is 8 braided, thin, very thin. It is MMCX connector, and I have my Fitz ear cable connector that I used to have a Fit ear, you see, and this is what I'm using with this cable. So that is now pairing with the Tin Hifi T4s. I think the upgraded cable does bring an improvement to the any monitors. Next part I want to talk about is possibly how it fits. Does it fit well? I've recommended the fact that you should probably upgrade the cable if you have the means, or if you have a spare one that is better than the original one, which I've tested, because these are just spare cables that I've owned. In regards to the carry case, I am quite happy with the case. One negative thing about it is that it is magnetic, but it's not too tight. So if the magnetic was a bit stronger, so think about it, if you were to put this in your bag, if the magnetic was a bit loose, then obviously your any monitor will come out with all the cables and it will make a mess. Okay, but I am appreciating the accessory that it came with within this package more than my Balloon 03. In regards to pairing, I'm using an S9 Plus phone. It's reasonable. Obviously this 2.5mm will not work, but don't worry, I also do have a connector which I use to connect a 2.5mm to make it 3.5. So if I'm connecting to a 3.5mm adapter, this is the cable that I use. I got this made by a friend, about $180 roughly, so I asked him to make a couple. It is 8 braided, so roughly speaking it just plugs in, and then this plugs into your phone. So that is the reason why I'm able to use this 2.5mm. But as I mentioned, I mostly use a dedicated player to play my any monitors, as I find that the 2.5mm here provides much more power to drive the any monitors. But in regards to driving it with a phone, it is reasonable, it is good enough, and obviously the upgraded cable does do this job. In regards to comfort, I have went for the spin fit. One of the left side I went for medium, as I recall, but for the right side I went for a slightly larger, so there may be some imperfection within my ears, but that is what is making it more comfortable. I would assume that with my other any monitors that I own, mostly both of the ears are the same, but with this one it seems like I need one side to be smaller and then the right side to be slightly bigger. Definitely do try out the other foams that you get, silicone ones, the large side. Another note, you might want to be careful when putting anything in. There is like a piece of card inside, like a hard piece, so that I'll show you what I mean. You can see there is like a layer there. Make sure that you, when you put this in, that you don't push the plate inside here inwards, as it won't come back out. You know how it's like. And obviously if you push it in, then that really will mean that you have to send it back to the manufacturer to maybe get it replaced. And that is what happened to one of my any monitors previously, which is the Cupid. So I'm being a bit careful putting this ear tip in. This is it. All simple. Left side, notice I have switched it. I noticed that the right side, the sound will come a bit loose with the any monitors. It's because I've used this cable before, and this cable used to go with my Shure 846, and the 846 I no longer have because I have upgraded to other ones. So there's a slight imperfection where if I were to put the right cable onto the right one, sometimes the signal from the cable will mean that the sound doesn't come through. Hence the reason why I switch it around, and that balances it again so that I'm able to get music from both sides. Coming to the audio quality, which is the most important. Well, as I mentioned, 79 bucks if you buy it within these 4 days. If you buy it after that, it's going to be costing you $119. One thing that I am liking about this, the music is definitely more laid back. It does work better with a music player because it provides the power that is needed for this 10mm driver. There is bass there, for sure. Maybe a little bit more sub-bass than the mids. It is less in your face. And the reason I mentioned that it is less in your face because the Bloom 03, which I've tried for a short while, is right in your face. And the instruments and the vocals are on the same levels, while the Bloom 03, it is probably more in another spectrum, which is like definitely right there in your face. If you like pop or K-pop or rock, then the Bloom 03 is definitely the one you might want to go for. Here it's just probably good for all general reasons. That means it's suitable for all kinds of music, I think. It is more engaging with a neutral bright. It has a clear note presentation, and it definitely has a slightly better treble. You cannot get, I mean, for what I recommend is the fact that you cannot get an IEM of this detail at this price range, which is that $79 that I mentioned. It is clear and clean presentation. The keyboard is reasonable, but if you have a better keyboard, then do test it and see if that is better than what your current cable is. And the mid-range has some brightness and the treble is well extended. Lots of good accessories is included, which I like. The sound stage is relatively wide and the comfort is decent. However, I think due to the fact that this INI monitor is this INI monitor I feel is a bit loose for me because, you know, there's quite a lot of movement. I am into some custom ones and that fits exactly. I am into any monitors that have 14 driver, hence the reason why they're so big. And that's but these are quite minute and small, hence the reason why they tend to move a slightly bit more around. But at the moment, I am pleased with this INI monitor. Definitely worth $79. It is probably worth more, I think, in regards to what sound quality you're getting from it. Maybe I would say definitely over that, maybe around $200 or $300 mark from this one dynamic driver. I mean, having been a BA driver for a long time, since I've got the Empire Zeus, which is a 14 BA driver, I've got the A18s, which is the 18 BA driver. This time, I am quite happy with these dynamic drivers that these manufacturers are providing. Comfort, as I said, you have to adjust it, seriously. It's not always there. It definitely moves around. Once it's adjusted, it's comfortable. Am I able to listen to it for a long time? I would say yes, I am able to use it for a long time without any fatigue. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would recommend it. If you're looking for any monitor that is more laid back, there is some sub-bass and there is like a good presentation, then I would say do go for this. However, you might want to wait another 2 days, as I will be doing the full video of the Bloom 03 as well. And then the final video will be the comparison of the Bloom 03 with the Tin Hifi T4s, which then will allow you to have the time to still purchase the Tin Hifi T4, as there is still 4 days, or alternatively, the Bloom 03. Anyway, hopefully that video is useful. I do recommend reading more about any monitors before buying. At the moment, at the $79 price point, I think this is quite a good, reasonable any monitor, especially it is punching through its weight, because I feel that this should probably, and sounds that it should cost more with what is providing. Instrument separation, as I mentioned, it is quite detailed. You are able to hear the instruments separately. And that is roughly what I want to say about the Tin Hifi T4s. Again, in my next video, I'll be doing a full review of the Bloom 03. And then in video number 73, I will be looking at the comparison of the Tin Hifi T4s and the Bloom 03. So you might want to wait for that video before you start thinking about which present to buy for your family if they are audiophiles. Seriously, if you're entering this spectrum and you're looking for the cheap, reasonable ini monitor to satisfy your needs, I think one of these is definitely, will do the job for you. Alright, I'll see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys, and do hit subscribe.